Yo, what's poppin'? Welcome to the Gray Area Podcast, where we talk about situations and things that are rarely talked about. And as per request, people were saying, they wasn't here and they didn't have time to chime in on yesterday. So this is depression time, part two, whereas we are bringing awareness. So y'all know what's up. Share that feed, invite a friend, tell a friend. Now this is a podcast that I came up with where we can talk about situations and things that are rarely talked about for whatever reason, and things that aren't, it isn't normally talked about. Like we address it and then we just move past it like it's dealt with when it actually still around. And these are the topics that I want to bring attention to. So if you're here, whether you're on the page from Facebook or YouTube, y'all know what to do. Y'all know what to do. I mean, I know a lot of people have been saying, how come, it's more like we focusing so much on depression and stuff like that, and mental health and stuff like that. It's just because the timing that we are in calls for it. I mean, just because we talked about something, I mean, why should we stop? I mean, this is the time, where most people, I don't know if you guys talk about, if you guys have friends that are going through situations like my friends, they hungry, they ain't eating, and I be doing garbage with their money. So, I mean, it's crazy. So y'all like, share, subscribe, invite a friend, tell a friend. And this is a very transparent podcast where, like I said, we talk about situations and things that are not talked about. And like I said, once you comment, we post up your comments right here. And now y'all know what to do. So depression. And this is just a rollover from yesterday where we was talking about depression as it relates to basically us as human beings, like how we try to cope with things, like we paint smiles and we just go through life like we ain't hurting, and we actually hurting. Some of us really need help. Some of us are suicidal. Some of us, we drink ourselves to sleep. Some of us take medication to sleep because depression is like really killing us. And for everybody that's saying, why we keep focusing on depression, is just that depression is a topic that we just can't roll past. Like, if we being real, like, depression is serious. Like, y'all would be surprised how many people are going through and so forth like that. So I don't want anybody to feel like, hey, we just gonna move past certain subjects because, hey, it don't make sense. You know what I mean? So a lot of my friends were saying they didn't catch the podcast, so they wanted round two, and this is round two. Depression is something that is really affecting our homes right now. It's affecting our personal lives, even to this COVID-19 experience. Not only the lockdown, but people being without jobs. People can't pay their rent. People can't buy groceries. We have to rely now on systematic help. Like, y'all don't understand how hard it is for somebody that's so used to getting stuff on their own, and then all of a sudden now they have to have like a dependent spirit. Whew. Trust me, it's crazy. So share that feed if you're here. Shout out to all my friends from YouTube, Facebook. Y'all know what to do. She said another depression. Yes, another depression, of course. Press the issue, bro. The time calls for it. Let's go. Yes, that's what it is. Hi, Miss Tina. A shout out to Miss Tina. Look here. If y'all, I know we ain't partying right now, right? But she has the best prices on party equipment, Bunks and Castle. Listen, she does the whole shebang. So y'all see this page that is posted up, Tina Love. Y'all check out. She has the best. I mean, the best. Can you imagine having a Bunks and Castle all day for little or nothing? She can't beat that, man. Can't beat that. So let's get into it. Depression is affecting us like never before, and it's to a point to whereas we have lost focus. When I say we have lost focus, it's like we strayed away from depression. Like, we look at it like, oh, okay, they're gonna be all right. Oh, okay, they're gonna be okay. Oh, okay, don't worry. That's just a phase that they go into, not knowing that depression can last so long. It can last a lifetime. Do you know how many people are dealing with depression from childhood? And there is something that is called, I don't know if I'm saying the term right, but it's basically subconscious depression. That's what, when you so depressed that you don't even know that you're depressed. It's like you going through your normal routine and you wondering why you feeling so down at time, but you actually going through depression and you don't even know. Some people going through depression and don't even know it. Bang. Depression isn't just about having suicidal thoughts. No, it ain't. You can be depressed by your job. You could be making the most money in the world and you still depressed on the job. Like, depression is so serious and we take it for granted. Like, we take for granted the power of depression. I'm not saying to give depression power. I'm just saying that we take for granted the power of depression. Even now, as it stands, as a body, like when I be speaking to people and I'm so baffled by their stories. Like, I had a friend the other day tell me, say she don't even know how she's surviving because she haven't eaten in days, trying to eat this and that, trying to make it through by just trying to put something in her system because she ain't working and there ain't nobody to give her nothing. Like, could you imagine that? Like, you're so used to doing things for yourself, and it's not that they're irresponsible with their money, you know. Can you imagine how many people ran through their savings at this time just because this is the rainy day that they were preparing for, not knowing that this would come so soon? Like, we gotta take depression more serious, and we have to recognize the sign and bring more awareness to depression. Like, trust me, y'all don't understand how not y'all, but we don't understand how serious depression is. Like, we see people acting out and doing weird things, and all we doing is just laughing and taking videos of people acting out of character, not knowing what they've been through or how they got there. Depression can be a key factor to insanity. There were a lot of successful people that I've seen now on the side of the road just hallucinating, seeing things and doing things. You know why? Because they were so depressed and didn't know how to cope with it, or didn't even have somebody to try and reach out to them to try and give them help. Money really don't buy happiness. New equipment. Who this? I'm back. An adult. I've seen somebody say, I'd rather cry in a Benz than a Honda. My goodness, I don't want to cry at all. I don't want to cry in a Benz and I don't want to cry in a Honda. That's just me. But hey, like, for real though, we have to understand, and we have to make more avenues to helping people that are around us that are depressed. And when I say that, I mean that there are actually some people out there who are begging for help. Like, they crying out. Their social media, the way they talk, the way they carry themselves. We look at people a certain way and we don't never try to find out, like, why this person acting like that. No, we just so judgmental. We judgmental to the point that we don't even give people a chance to tell their story. We see this person acting that a certain way and we see this person doing that, and oh Lord, they going to hell. Not even trying to reach out, especially us in this Christian nation. Like, we don't give people the benefit of the doubt to tell their story or to try and find out, say, are you going through anything? No, they going to hell. That's a whore. She's sleeping with 50 men, not knowing the woman can't even pay her bills, so she's trying to find the next best thing. Like, y'all, like depression will make you do all kind of things. Like the song says, what would you do when your son's at home crying alone on the bathroom floor? Y'all don't know about that song? That's a real life situation, you know. Like, I know people and I don't judge them. Like, they can't get a job, although they apply, they can't get a job. Can you imagine putting in applications so many places? And I have friends that have degrees that put in applications to these places, and the people return their calls and say, hey, we are not looking for somebody with your criteria at this time. Can you imagine what that'll do for you? You went to school, hard work, sweat. Many nights you up in these books trying to flip in, make sure you get a passing grade, trying to push yourself to college. Finally, when you get your degree, like you applying for a job and you can't get a job. Why? I don't know. Is it because of our economy? I don't know. I've never heard so much craziness in my life. Like, I've heard people tell me stories of where they apply for a job and the person said, you're too qualified for our business. I was like, how could you be too qualified for a business? And my friends were so depressed. They were like, mother sick. You can imagine, I got all these qualifications. I might as well just go work anywhere. Like, it's crazy. Anyway, for those of you that just tuning in, welcome to the Gray Area Podcast, where we talk about situations and things that are rarely talked about. If you're tuning in on YouTube or Facebook, you all share that feed, invite a friend, tell a friend, and let's talk about it. And this is Depression Part 2. A lot of people say, why are we talking about depression again? Well, this is the time. Like, why should we skip over relevant topics? Like, we'll be talking about a sex video for like 50 days, a month. We'll be talking about somebody get their head slapped off or got their weave slapped off for days or a month. But topics that mean something or that is actually here to, shine light on certain things, we just want to skip through it. Because he's hungry and the only way to feed him is to sleep with a man for a little bit of money. That's the song. Y'all know I can't sing. Because he's hungry and the only thing to do is sleep with a man to get a little bit of money. Hey, I almost out of tune there, I'll stick to my day job. Boy, Part 2, I late, but here we go. You know what makes depression worse too? When you actually listen to songs and artists that you can relate to heavy, and you relate to the lyrics so much that adds and makes everything worse. I'm not gonna lie. Nika, that's so real, right? And I laugh because I asked somebody, right? They were going through a bad breakup. And I said, why are you listening to so many depression songs? Like, I mean, you're supposed to, try put yourself out. And, they were like in that phase and in that mood, and everything was so gloomy. Like these, it was one of the songs, forget what I said, you don't mean now. And I mean, she was just like, and then she was singing this other song. How could you call him all the names that you? And I mean, she was like, she was crying and snorting. And I was so confused. I was like, so what are you gonna do? I mean, you can't just sit here, listen to these songs. You know what I mean? You got to try to break out of these situations. You know what I mean? Like, people really, listen, some of these songs will do it to you for real, for real, for real, for real. But depression, guys, is a serious thing. When I mean it's serious, it's so serious that depression can make you transform into a person that you yourself don't even know you were. Like, you were so bubbly and you were so jubilant and you always trying to help others. And then after that, this spirit of depression, and now you snappy. Everything just pisses you off. Like, you don't want to talk. You barely want to have a convo. Like, you just looking at people strange and you wondering why people are always looking at you. That time people ain't even looking at you. And you just, everybody, your phone ringing, you ain't answering. The phone ringing and you just ignoring everybody's call. I don't feel like talking to anybody. Like, and all the time you were a person that, used to talk to everybody. So we have to understand that depression is serious. Like, for real. And understand that depression kills. We have to bring more awareness, whether it's social awareness, community awareness, public awareness. When someone's in that zone, don't disturb them, child. We need that moment. I'm not gonna lie, but I can empathize with you. Facts, whole facts. Listen, that'd be a serious moment, boy. Like when I go into certain things, I don't want to listen to no. I mean, that's just personally for me. Not knocking people that do it, because I know a lot of people that does, right? But I can't put myself when I listen to those. When you see I'm depressed, I gotta listen to them bangers. You know, like baby, welcome to the party. I'm off the molly this aniline. That's my guy type of thing. Imagine going through a bad breakup and then you scroll on Facebook and see a bunch of memes related to your situation. Boy, that'll do it to you too. Like, can you imagine situations like a very, very peculiar situation is like, I don't know. Let me see. What should I say? Mm, a very depression like a very depressing situation is like losing a child, right? Let's say you lost a child, right? And you scroll into social media and you see these heartwarming videos with children, boy, or you see these you see these basically these memes or these posts saying, oh, nothing like a son or nothing like a daughter, and you just lost your child, and you'd be like, social media is the devil, you know that kind of feeling. But this true. Sometimes you go into these bad situations, these breakup, and you go on social media and you see a bunch of, oh, the sick. That'll do it to you. You'll be like, geez, bury me today. Got you feeling dark, like under the bed dark, closet dark. BPL turn off the whole power nationwide dark. I know the feeling, going dark, where you in this space where you don't care to associate yourself with anybody. Depression. We got to bring awareness to depression. Oh my God, this is it right here. I just signed out one shot. Then I'd go listen to sad song, which ties into my earlier statement. Boy, Nika, I can't do the sad songs. When you go through these situations and you listen to a sad song, then they make you numb. Like you can't move. You feel so out of place and you wondering why you just can't breathe. And these songs got you feeling some type of way. Listen, depression. And at this time, so many people, it might sound repetitive, right? Or it might sound like I'm stuck on one point, but it baffles me so much. When I say it baffles me so much to listen to people and their stories and how people are surviving right now. Like me personally, some of these things what people are going through, I can't even see myself surviving. And I being real, like certain situations I see people find themselves in, I'm like, what the sick? Like, really? Like, can you imagine these people, like, they going through these things and they just trying to figure out, like, what's their next move, and they don't know? They don't even know, like, what are they going to do next? Like, how am I going to roll next? Like, a lot of people now, they trying to figure out how they're going to pay their rent. Depression hurts more when your outlet ain't taking you on or wanting to understand facts. When you're trying to reach out to somebody to express the situation, the how you feeling, and they just saying don't understand. Like, you don't understand. I feeling like I want to walk the bridge and jump it. Oh, it ain't that serious. What the? Oh, you don't understand that I'm feeling like I ready to just blow up everything. You don't understand that I ready just to sit on the corner and just, do some things that I ain't supposed to do. Well, man, it ain't that serious. We don't have to talk about that. Like, people so quick to just shut you down. when you go into certain situations, and it's so crazy. Depression, and it's real. Depression is real, and we have to be more, like Nika said yesterday, we have to show more empathy, and we have to be more sympathetic to people when they are going through their depression. Like, we look at people like people people look at you in your situation and they expect you to bounce back like elastic in one day. No, everything is a process. Like, ain't everybody, oh, when I was going through that, I didn't take that long. I'm not you. Oh, when I was going through this as a child, or when and you know what I hate, when you telling somebody about your situation, right, and they turn around, well, I survived, so you can make it through. What the hell? Like, okay, well, how is that supposed to help me? Am I supposed to be assured that, hey, you survived? No, no. Sometimes you just gotta shut up and just listen. I start sharing them with those Earl Dirty Dog captions. Long Island, you in trouble. Sometimes the best thing is to be numb so you can catch yourself. So I'm glad that you said sometimes, because numbness can also cause you to basically, sometimes we so depressed to where we're numb that we lose those around us. And it can be for our benefit, and it also can be for our detriment, because sometimes we push away those that are close to us, and they don't understand the severity of depression, to whereas they feel like, like you're not sincere with them and you're pushing them away, so they basically just move themselves out of the equation, when it ain't even like that. You just so depressed, like you don't even know how to communicate what you're feeling or what you're going through, and they take that as an offense, and sometimes we lose valuable people. That's because we depressed and we acting out on certain situations. Then boom. Mm, depression. And we need more awareness for depression. Like, I've seen basically, uh like, I think I've seen one ad during this time where people was offering assistance for people that are dealing with COVID situations, and they tied the Hurricane Dorian into all that as well. Like, I haven't seen the people at the forefront of this situation, like, reach out or put a social media out and say, okay, anybody needs some type of mental counseling or whatever, or somebody to talk to, this is the avenue or whatever. I mean, I've seen it, but I haven't seen it being pushed like we push other things on social media. Like, people are actually hurting. Like, when I mean hurting, I mean like literally hurting. Like, hurting. Like, a friend of mine was telling me, say, how she waiting on her NIB check. Now when she went to NIB, they spelled one thing wrong in her name, and they said that ain't her. And she's like, well, what the F is this? How they see me? Oh, this letter ain't in that name, so we can't issue you this check. And she said, well, y'all made the mistake. And that right there, I agree. I usually just give a disclaimer whenever I'm feeling a certain way, honestly. So I'm thankful for those who stick around and they actually do understand. I agree with you. We need more outlets for depression. Yes. Like, we don't even push, we don't push, we don't push avenues or outlooks unless listen, we wait. Let me tell you how our society works, right? Our society works until it reaches a point to where we have to go to PMH, and then PMH says, okay, this person needs to go to Sandlands for help. And we wondering why, okay, why this going on like that? And not knowing that, hey, all of that stemmed from depression. We don't have to wait until it reached some kind of psychiatric problem to where we can't even control, where we become unstable. Like, we could attack the root. There isn't, we don't have that much. We have places that deals with depression, right? But I'm saying we don't push them like how we push other things on social media. You will see these stuff pushed on social media more than an outlet for depression. You will see stuff like politics. You will see stuff like us on social media, we post pornography, people business. We walk around with videos recording people dying, and we think that's normal. And y'all, that makes people depressed too. I'm glad that run out of my mind. Like, we actually make families depressed when families have to find out that this is how their family members die, by videos that stupid people record. And if you fall under the category of taking your video or taking your camera out in a sensitive situation where somebody is suffering and dying in a car crash, you are stupid, asinine, moronic. You are barbaric. You are inhuman. You don't have a heart. Like, some people had to see there, like the other day, right? There was a situation where this guy was in an accident, and his family was so, when I say so depressed, they were so depressed because somebody recorded the guy suffering in the car. Like, the dude was suffering. The dude was suffering, like the dude was suffering. And the guy, I don't know if he was pretending to have some sort of compassion while simultaneously recording. He was like, "Yo, don't move, dog. Don't move, boy. Just stay still." And recording the dude suffering. Like, his family took that to heart. Like, that's some messed up stuff. Like, y'all be sending people in depression. Like, we as a society, we send people into depression. We sitting home. Y'all know WhatsApp travels fast. We sitting home, chilling out. Then something comes on our phone, and we see our family dead bodies like a dog. That's how I found out one of my relatives died. That was depression. That was so depressing. I didn't even know this dude died until somebody sent me a WhatsApp with this guy recording him laid out in the bush like a dog. I was like, what the? That was so depressing for me. I was like, what, people just so inhumane, and they're so insensitive to situations and don't even understand how that can affect the family. Like, we really don't take depression seriously in this country. We really don't take. Shout out to Tracy. This is my friend from Trinity. She always tuning in. Y'all, and listen, people were complaining about our lockdowns, and Trinity is about to go on 14 days full lockdown because this second wave is like, whoosh. I don't watch the news. It's depressing. Yes, the news is very depressing. I stopped watching news maybe years ago. The only news that I watch sometimes is when they have a press conference, and I tune into Eyewitness News or something like that. But otherwise, to say watch the daily news, to hear crime report and all of that, I can't take it. You will be depressed to listen and hear some of the things going on around you. You can't believe that all of this is just happening in your space. So, Tracy, I can relate. I don't even watch the news because it's depressing. Like, the news for me is so depressing. Like, you wake on that same note, my friend was like, you don't even know what's going to happen with COVID because you wake up today and the number is 100. Then you wake up tomorrow and the number is 1,000. Then you wake up the next day and the number is 2,000. So you don't even know what to do with yourself. If anybody haven't ever experienced depression, I'm sure like 90% of us have experienced depression through these lockdowns. And if you've been in quarantine, that's depression. Listen, you can imagine you got a call from the health official saying, hey, you've been exposed to somebody who had COVID-19. We ask you to kindly please stay in quarantine. Like, your life. Y'all don't know how that feel. Listen, can you imagine getting a call and say, hey, you've been exposed they call so polite. Hey, you've been exposed to COVID-19, and we are asking you that you please go into 14-day lockdown. Do you live with anybody? Yes, ma'am. We're asking you that you separate yourself from them. And you think like, motherfucker, I already been with these people all this time. That will flip it. That'll do it to you. That call from the health officials will do it to you. A lot of people have been depressed, especially people who had loss. Like a depressing situation for me is we have a loss in our family, and the number is only 5. And a lot of my family are depressed about it because, hey, you only can have 5 people in the graveyard and this, not, I mean, in the church and all that. And listen, imagine now you got to choose 5 people. That's so depression. That's so depressing. Depression. We have to bring more awareness to depression. Instead of acting like, okay, the Bahamas is so happy. We are so perfect. We are a perfect nation. We don't need help. There aren't people that are going through mental issues. There aren't people that are going through mental health. There aren't people that needs people to talk to. Like, why should we have to go to a private counselor and pay like 150 an hour to talk to somebody, and when we can have these things set up, whereas to help more people, we have these places set up to talk to these people. And even the church, let me get on these church. No disrespect to the church, but my gosh, you mean to tell me now how is it that more church aren't out there pushing the agenda of free counseling, pushing the agenda on Facebook? I've seen, when COVID-19, I've seen more videos saying, okay, we have digital ways to send your tithes monies. I've seen more videos from these churches saying, okay, here it is. We have ways for you to tithe your money. We need more ways to tithe your money. Why aren't these churches playing a major role in the fact that half of our population are depressed? So why aren't they reaching out to the public saying, okay, we're going to offer free counseling and this is the way to do it. Yes, we have to respect the COVID laws, but these are our lines if you need somebody to talk to. Why they aren't at the forefront for that? I'm just saying, depression isn't as important as the tithes. I mean, I don't know. I mean, shoots, we are a Christian nation after all. Like, what is the church role during this time of depression? Like, I haven't even heard much from the church like that. I mean, no disrespect to the churches, but it is what it is. I haven't heard as much from the church like for them to be an outlet. I've heard from Bishop Lawrence Roll. He feeds the people on Wednesdays and Fridays free food for people who are hungry. And he does that with a passion. And shout out to my friends at Hot 91.7 that gave him a new freezer and a new stove. At least he's feeding the people. You mean to tell me these churches can't provide some free counseling? Like free, like y'all made all kind of videos talking about we have new ways to tithe. We have new ways to send offering. And I got to repeat this. Why haven't the church came forward with some brilliant plan to help these people that are suffering mentally from COVID-19, since we are a Christian nation after all? Like, anyway, let me get to the comment, man. I have arrived. Made this point earlier today after actually crying at the thought there are actually kids out there with no known relatives but one sickly or elderly that needs more care and money than they do, and whose care they are left in. Wow. That right there is depressing. Let me read that again. There are actually kids out there with no known relatives, but one sickly or elderly that needs more care and money than they do, and whose care are they left in? That's a sad state right there. Like we are, I don't know if maybe we asking too much. I've spoken to like so much people, and I was like, we always talking about politics, and we always saying, oh, F and M this. DNA.plp this. But as a people, we don't even try to help our own because we are so accustomed to just being spoon-fed everything. Like we don't try to help our own. Instead, we laugh and make a mockery out of people. We make a fool out of people. And and this is a good point. Rather, they'll tease these children and saying, oh, they ain't got nothing, you wearing sweet waters. And they ain't got not knowing that the child home and ain't even got nobody to really take care of them like that. They need money and people, you know what I used to hate? Like back in school for the children that used to go on welfare, like people used to laugh at them. Going on welfare, like people used to tease you. If you going on welfare, it's like you shame. That time welfare lunch used to be the bomb. The lunch lady used to sell like, it used to be $2 chicken and fries. And then if you buy rice used to be $2. Man, these dudes used to get curry chicken and rice and coleslaw free. And we laughing at them, like this. Anyway, that's a good point, McKen. Majority of these churches been quiet from COVID-19 started, but when promoters want bring artists over, they want be so vocal, so loud. Let me drink my water because I can't drink Hennessy. I don't drink. I wouldn't talk about Carnival. They're so boisterous about Carnival. Carnival is of the devil, this and that. Carnival, this is a Christian nation. How can we allow Carnival to come sneak in? I'm not saying that you shouldn't protest your belief, and I'm not saying that you shouldn't take a stand for your belief. But what I am saying is, why are the church so vocal? Why are the church so vocal when it comes to these minor situations? When I mean minor, I mean stuff that can be easily amended. But when it comes to these things, we are at a focal point like depression. Why aren't most of the churches online social media platform saying, hey, okay, there are a lot of people that are suffering mentally right now from depression during this COVID-19 time. Here is an avenue that we have for people to come through. No, instead, but yet y'all can advertise, oh, if you want to bless me, this is send you $300. Pastoral anniversary. Shoot, I used to be corrected when I used to say pastoral. No, it's pastoral. You got to get it right. They want you to get that right. Anyway, let me stop attacking the church before they think I'm a heathen. But churches, you got to do better. If we are a Christian nation, in times like these, y'all supposed to be on the forefront. No avenue for depression. No avenue for people to come and talk to somebody free of charge. Oh, joking. My welfare lunch was lit. Yes. They used to have baked chicken, baked ribs, barbecue turkey. Because the church is a business and has been for a while. Oh, Lord, look, McKen gone there. I ain't going there tonight, man. Depression. We need more avenues, and we need more awareness for depression. Like people are going through so much things. But I mean so much things, like so much things. Like y'all, like if you talk to somebody, anybody, one of your friends, and you just, just dig them a little bit and you'll understand. You'll understand, hey, this time right now, what we going through, so serious. Dead serious. Let me read to one of these comments. Okay. This is one of the good a good comment that I'm gonna read actually, and they were talking about how some people who are depressed, they don't really, they don't really want help. And she was talking about how I'm just trying to find the comment. Anyway, let me summarize the comment. She was basically talking about how a lot of people that are depressed, they want help. But when the help comes, they complain about the help. Like she was saying that this woman, she was complaining about how she don't have any grocery and so forth like that. And then the government gave her a free package or whatever. She's complaining, that's what y'all give me. And she didn't have nothing, but she got a little something. So a lot of people, you have to be careful. You have to be careful where we have to be careful as people, even though we're depressed. A little help is better than no help. So we have to be grateful, even though we are depressed. We have to be grateful that somebody actually, try. You have some people, they'll see you dying and they don't give a about you. They ain't even trying to reach out to help you with nothing. The churches would be quiet because they proclaim to be healers. And the reality is they can't heal no one. Oh my God, Tracy, you went there. Tracy, I can't believe you went there. You shocked me with that one. Maybe they're depressed because they've lost the power of healing. Maybe they're depressed because of that. Tracy, you went there. You went there. Tracy said, but free box lunch in school was the bomb. That's what you guys call it in Trinity? Box lunch? If you ain't dishing out no money, then they don't care. Churches is a business. Boy, look here. I was just telling them they got to give a little avenue. They got to give a little avenue so that we could bring more awareness to depression and offer some free counseling or something. You got people with these doctorate degrees in psychologies in these churches. Some of these apostle, doctor, reverend, this and that. You know what I mean? When you mean tell me you can't offer a free session at an hour they call to where at least you set up your staff or members to talk to people. Y'all joking. Ungrateful, please, people. Y'all know I can't really cuss like that, because this, I don't cuss, you know what I mean? Yes, they are ungrateful. There are a lot of people that got those free packages and it was like, this it? Well, I believe, and that's just me. Maybe I'm small-minded or I'm shallow-minded. I believe that a little help is better than no help at all. Hi, Albany. Welcome to the show. Oh, so they are called box lunches. Listen, we have to be grateful. I don't want to say even during depression. I want to say we have to be grateful for the slight reach of help or people that actually try to help during depression. Because you have people. Listen, I don't know if y'all ever been going through situation, right? If y'all ever been going through situations where people they are, when I say hurting, I mean hurting, right? And then you try to talk to them and they are so grateful that you actually listen, because in their mind they feel like nobody even recognized the signs that they were going through. So we have to be grateful. We have to be grateful to a point to where we as individuals understand that, a little help is better than no help. Y'all know I had to look back at that game. This is the Laker game. So y'all know this podcast. For y'all that row me saying these podcasts need to be longer. Listen, and I think an hour is suffice. What are y'all trying to do? Make me depressed? If I miss the game, I think an hour is suffice. So we can have a nice dialogue in an hour. But for real though, all jokes aside, we have to bring more awareness to depression. And when I say more awareness, we need more outlets. And we as people have to play our part and our role in helping people when they reach out to talk to us. Even if somebody talk to you about one simple thing, I mean, try to listen instead of judge. Like, we are so judgmental as people. I don't know if it's because we are of a Christian background. We are so judgmental. When I mean so judgmental, we don't even give people chances. Like we don't give people chances. This person living away, oh, you going to hell. Not even trying to understand like why this person doing this, man. Depression. We have to work together as a society in the 242, whereas we help one another, man. Even if it means even if it means just sending a text that they checking the people. Missing out on sports right now can cause depression. And what? Y'all don't know when sometimes when you gotta watch that bad boy game and then BPL turn off the light. Like, listen there, I was watching a basketball game and BPL just bloop. I was like, mother sick. I was angry. I was everything. Depressed, angry. I started to get anxious. But for real though, even if we text people once a month and just to make sure that they're alive, like today, I almost dove into depression. Now, not basically like deep depression, but like if anybody know me, like I have this WhatsApp. I have a hacked WhatsApp. So if I'm not in the WhatsApp, I won't see the call. And then when I do get in the WhatsApp, like I have a million messages. So your missed call will be way down the line. And then when I see the missed call, like it says one, I don't normally check it until I'm curious. And so anyway, long story short, like a couple weeks ago, a friend of mine, he called me and I messaged him and I told him the situation with the WhatsApp and I said, okay, I'll get back to him. Right. So he wanted me to do something for him. And I was like, yeah, man, that's fine. And I think he tried to call me like a week later and I still didn't get a chance to go. I still didn't get a chance to go to him, all kind of stuff, reasons why. And then like I got a call today and say, hey, did you know so-and-so died? Like that right there for me. I was like, wow. I mean, you know what I mean? Like a person was trying to reach out to you and you never got in contact with them and you never even saw them for the last time to, like that's crazy. Like seeing somebody here today or hearing somebody's here today and then the next day they're gone and you like, your mother sick, you and that person in school, like they was just calling me to do something for them. I didn't even get a chance to do it. And that right there, that can cause depression too. Like, I mean, you a good friend, somebody who you know and somebody who you talk to, and then you got a call not even knowing that they died. Like, geez. A lot of crazy stuff going on. Like crazy stuff. I've seen even people depressed over Black Panther, even though they didn't know him. Like out people were crying. Like shoots. Like people like were legit crying. That's how emotional we are in such a depressing zone. Like this is a depressing zone for us as individuals and as a society, especially with everything going on. No money, no food. Some of us can't buy grocery. We can't sleep, can't eat, no appetite. Like this right here. Like we are in a depressing zone. When I mean depressing zone, I mean like any little thing can cause you just to break down because that's the air that is going on right now. That's what is above us right now. It's so much bad omen and so much bad feelings and bad vibes right in the air right now. Like any little thing can cause anybody break down. Like if you have a conversation, like I talk to a lot of people, if you have conversation with people, you would understand. Like people be like, oh, I feel so down and I don't even know why I feeling like this. Like I just feel like I want to break down and cry. No, that's depression. Real talk. That's what's going on. That's what's going on. So we have to do better. We have to do better as a society with bringing more awareness to depression. I think as a government too, whoever's in power, whether it's the yellow boys, the red boys, the green boys, and the no-name boys, whoever. I think we need more. We need more change or more awareness that is focused on depression, not only depression as itself, mental health. We need more avenues for mental health. I'm not talking about where it reach a point to where people have to submit you to get help. No, there should be outlets that are promoted. Like we have outlets. I think I had it on I think either part 2 when we did mental health. I gave the outlets. We have outlets, but my gosh, we need to push. We need to push. When I say push, we need to push avenues, more commercials, more social media education and stuff like that, to try bring more awareness to these situations. Like how many ads have we seen on social media right now, like talking about depression? Oh, if you're depressed, okay, you can do this and do that. It ain't much. And I've heard people say, look here, ball of pressure so tall right now, I'll do anything right now. So we need more focus and more avenues on the topic. Anyway, y'all, this is a Gray Area Podcast where we talk about situations and things that are rarely even talked about for whatever reason. And y'all follow the Gray Area Podcast page, the Gray Area Podcast page on Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for chances to win great prizes. We have a prize giveaway that is going on, so you can hit the page up and check out the prize giveaway and join the competition and win free stuff, man. Y'all don't like free stuff, eh? Free stuff can help you with depression. I'm just saying. Can you imagine getting something you don't have to pay? I don't know. I think the next giveaway I might just give away a nice cool text something. Just for you guys that's been supporting the channel from the start. I like to show my appreciation because y'all don't have to be here watching this. The game on. Y'all could be doing anything, but y'all here giving y'all time listening to me and my friends and our point of views. Like y'all the real MVPs, and I appreciate y'all. So again, I can't stress this enough, and I can't stress this enough. We have to bring more awareness to depression, and we have to be more sensitive to people that are going through depression, and we have to reach out more to those around us and check on them, even if it's one message a day, or not even a day, even if it's one message a week. At least try to check on somebody, man. Check on them to make sure that they're breathing alive or something. Like we have friends and we don't even know what they're going through. Mental health. Yes, Biscuit. That's what it is. That's what it's all about. Anyway, y'all know what it is. It's a Saturday night with the number 1 Lakers playing on TNT. So y'all, thank y'all for tuning in to the Gray Area Podcast, where we will continue to talk about situations and things that are rarely talked about. Like, share, subscribe, follow the pages for free giveaways, and y'all know what to do. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Thank you for giving me your time. And if you know somebody that's depressed, y'all reach out to your friend. Tell your friends you love them. That's key. Tell these people y'all love them now and stop waiting until they die and they can't hear y'all. And then y'all want to give them all the flowers while they die. Give the people their flowers while they're alive. And show somebody you care, man. Show somebody, be considerate. Be considerate. Let's get this comment. I know a lot of people trying to get into Canada to escape some of this and start over. Spoke to one of my boys today about how difficult it is, how difficult it even is right now to look for jobs because of the lockdowns, and even having a job may not fix anything. Wow, so true. And that right there is real talk. Like a lot of people Man, it's a sad situation, McKen. It's so sad. It's so sad. Like people just looking for a way out right now. Y'all, thank y'all for tuning in. And this is the Gray Area Podcast. And I have to put this out there. I mean, a lot of people have done it in the past based on previous shows. Like our inbox be loaded. Like I can't believe like people will feel, like I'm somebody. It's a privilege for people to actually think they can talk to me. Like if y'all feel, I mean, I know y'all might not know me and y'all might just know me on the podcast, but if y'all feel like y'all want, to reach out to somebody or whatever just to talk to, I don't have any money. I just want to make that clear. I don't have any money. I work for government. We don't have money. We owe the banks. That's what keeps some of us depressed too. A lot of people I know who work for government, they depressed because they owe the bank. The bank have their whole salary. So so if y'all feel like y'all need somebody to talk to, just hit up the page, man. The Gray Area Podcast Facebook page or Jasonville, or y'all can hit us up on YouTube as well, the Gray Area Podcast, and reach out and let us know what you want to talk about. We here. That's what's up. So y'all, thank y'all for tuning into the Gray Area Podcast. Y'all know what it is, man. NBA night. I'm out. Thank you for tuning in. Like, share, subscribe.